FreeCycle was a website that matched people with stuff that wanted to get rid of it with people that wanted free stuff. So if you had 500 pieces of wood, you could post on FreeCycle, I have wood, and someone that needed wood might contact you and take it from you. And on that website, someone wrote an article about Freegan. And I showed my girlfriend at the time, who's my wife now, and I said, oh, I wonder what this is about. And we were interested in it, but we didn't live in a city where people were doing it. So then fast forward 2 years, and I moved to New York City to go to school. And in New York, there's a really active community of Freegans. And once we had an apartment and I'd started school and I had a job and I was settled, I looked up their website again and I went to one of their tours. And they give tours, I think, every other week in New York. And they welcome anyone to join them. And on the tours, they showed us places they go regularly and then like how to open bags and clean up after yourself and stuff. Half of them were really disgusted, and then they were like, why? Like, we raised you better than this, you know, why would you do that? You have money. Like, so half of them were disgusted, half of them were really worried. And the ones that were worried, like, they would send us gift cards for supermarket, like Trader Joe's gift cards, or they would, you know, they thought it was because we didn't have money and that was the last thing. And I would explain to them, like, no, I'm trying to do this as activism, like, for me to learn like how much is wasted and to be active and part of reusing stuff that's wasted. But yeah, my dad is the only one who, one time he visited us in New York and I took him dumpster diving. And he kind of got it. He never tried it himself, but he enjoyed going with me. But everyone else in my family was like, they just don't want to talk about it. I never got sick. I got upset stomach from eating too much sugar because I knew bakeries and places that threw away like cakes and donuts and bagels, and I got sick not because the food was bad or I got like bacteria, but because I overate and I ate too much sugar. But no, and I ate yogurt, sushi, cheese, like all kinds of stuff that we found, and I never got sick. And one of the guys I knew from Freegan had a great line when media would interview him and say, do you ever get sick from what you eat here? He'd say no. And I think people get sick more often from food prepared in restaurants. Was there ever no food? Unfortunately, in New York City, there was always more food than I could carry. So I would see other people and I would say, hey, do you want some of this? Like, do you want some bread? And I would like hand stuff out to people on the sidewalk, and they thought I was crazy. But yeah, there was always food. In California, I've tried a couple times, and there's sometimes no food because they lock it. So here they lock stuff or they put fences around it or cages. So the food is there, you just can't get to it. I would recommend it to people that are comfortable with it, but I don't recommend it to everyone because I'm not doing this to make you or to make other people do it just like me. For me, this is one way I can be an activist about it. I recommend it to people who know how to cook is the other thing. My wife really knows how to cook, so like if we got an apple out of the garbage, I wasn't like taking it out of the garbage and eating the apple. Usually I'd take it home, we'd wash it, peel it, chop it up and make applesauce, or like cook it and make jam. So like it's been boiled, it's kind of pasteurized even. So I don't recommend it for people who buy all their food pre-cooked and ready to eat, because then it's kind of different. You have to work, you have to do a lot of work. Carrying it home, cleaning it. I think it's hilarious. Like, I think it's funny that we make and ship and stock so much food and then we throw it all away. And then like I know people that have hungry children. Like I've worked with people that didn't have enough food to eat, but I can go to a dumpster and find all this free food. I think it's very ironic. It makes me wonder why I'm working for money to buy food.